As you all know, compared to Iraq, Austria is a very small country. Now, why talking about Austria at all? Well, Austria is known to be the first country that invented the idea of a constitutional court. So it's often referred to as the Kelsen Court, because one professor of law had this idea of having a separate institution focusing on constitutional issues. So if you have such a powerful institution, of course, the question is who appoints the judges and what, in what kind of system they are appointed. Now, similar to Germany, also in Austria, there is nothing like in Iraq, a kind of judicial committee, a judicial council in charge for these appointments. In contrast, the 14 judges of the Austrian Constitutional Court are appointed first by the government, and it's a quasi-parliamentary system, by the government of Austria, 6 of them, including the president and the vice president. The other 3 are appointed by the first chamber. Austria, like Iraq, is also a federal country, and the next 3, the remaining 3, by the second chamber. Now, this looks a quite political composition, because you do have all the other branches involved in the appointment procedure. And we can discuss to what extent this is beneficial to a system of checks and balance. Now, what is interesting is that in contrast to Germany, the judges, once appointed, stay there until retirement age, which is the age of 70. Again here, whether this is good for the system to have no kind of earlier exchange remain to be discussed. Just to give you a very concrete example, the current president of the Austrian Constitutional Court became a judge of that court at the age of 40. So for the next 30 years, he would be a judge of that court. And since later on he was elected the president of the court, now at least for 15 years, there is one and the same president of the court. Now, as a president of such a court, and this is my last comment, you have a very powerful function. So here, Austria has a kind of other special idea which hadn't been invented recently, but had been there right from the beginning. So the president of the Constitutional Court sits in all the deliberations on a case, but doesn't vote. So the president doesn't vote as a judge, with one exception. If there is a tie among the other judges, then he jumps in, having the decisive vote. But otherwise, he abstains from voting. Is this a good thing to have this powerful administrative figure that is representing the Constitutional Court outside and administering it from the inside, not being involved in the voting procedure unless there are exceptional reasons? Again, I'm looking forward to learn from your experiences and have a fruitful discussion. Thank you so much.